we've had a blast literally with watching the shooters come through, and we understand that this is not something we would do in a hunting situation, but it's also good to have some fun and see what the potential of your equipment is, in a more controlled setting, not in the woods all the time.
Now, like when
Yeah.
you get like and you're shooting at moose or elk or caribou or something like that,
Yeah.
you have quite a bit bigger kill zone, so you
Yes.
can
Yeah.
be off by a little bit. Uh,
Yeah.
a moose has a kill zone the side of a trash can lid.
Right, right, right. Yeah, for sure. And and it's fun doing that. And another fun thing, and a lot of our shooters, Jeremy and Brian, really do it. They're kind of the masterminds behind some of our shot placements, and we have a lot of shots that are really close and technical though. So you may have an obstruction at 15 yards, yet the target's at 35. So it's making you think about what your arrow is going to do before it reaches that obstruction and beyond. And some people might not take a shot, but if you know that your arrow is going to clear and what your arrow, how it's going to perform in those situations, and that could mean success in the field, or it might mean that you've saved yourself an injured animal too. So
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Try and figure out some of them closer shots. If you got a branch going through, range
yeah,
that branch. It's okay. What is that branch distance? So now you know when you aim at the animal, whatever distance it is,
yeah,
say like you're at 40 yards, but a 20-yard pin has actually got a little branch on it. And
mm-hmm,
well, my 20-yard pin is on that branch, but yeah, my
yeah,
40 is where I want it to go. You're
yeah,
going to have
yeah,
to kneel down
yep,
or move in order to
yes,
make that shot.
yep,
And
yep,
knowing that, practice in an environment like this where what's the worst thing that happens? Well, you lose your arrow, or you stick
mm-hmm,
a broad field tip into a tree branch
mm-hmm,
and you unscrew it and pull, you lose the tip.
right,
Much better
yeah.
than sticking a broadhead into a branch, which I've done. Didn't see it, and it was about 1 inch diameter, and I hit it dead center, and I split the thing open. So I just took my saw and just cut it and got the broadhead back. But
Yeah, right, right. That's a good thing that with the technology today, and there's so much information at hand that you can figure those things out. You have a rangefinder, like you said, that you can measure those obstructions and know and trust the trajectory of your arrow. But I'm kind of with you. I grew up and I did more things wrong, and that's how I figured out how to do them right. For every five things I did wrong, maybe I would pick up something on how to do it right the next time. And so we're trying to do that for people and give them that experience so that they're ready. It means success for them, and they can really test the equipment out. And arrows, arrow performance, it all ties in together. So what hunting system, what hunting setup works best for you, and we consider it. I've always been kind of tied in with Total Archery Challenge, and we kind of offer something similar, but on a regional level with more novelty shots. But that's really what I like about these types of shoots, is that I can take my backpack out, my new hunting pack or my new hunting boots, and I can kind of give them a field test through a long range course and see how things are going to perform in the field. Does that backpack squeak? Whenever I draw back, is there a hinge, or is there something that I need to work out to fit me a little bit differently? And so that's another key thing, and not just learning your arrow and your bow, but your equipment that goes along with you.
yeah, that's definitely something you need to look at is, your equipment. And that's why I tell a lot of archers when I had my store, I tell them wax your string every time before you go hunt, wax your string.
Yeah, yeah.
Not because it needs it, I tell more, it's because I want you to put your fingers on the string and feel it. If you feel
Hmm.
any bumps or burrs in it, you could
Hmm.
have a string starting to fail on you.
Right,
And
right.
better to know it before you go out so you can examine it closer and say, okay, is this a problem?
Hmm.
Is this a broken strand in it? And
Hmm.
is it a full strand or is it part of a strand? Well, then you can decide, okay, do I want to go out and hunt, take a chance of the string breaking when I
Hmm.
shoot?